job. All right. Ready to get started? Oh, wait, I'm just gonna hold because I see our final board member is joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, come on in.
Robert, here's the budget. I forgot to print that out. That's you? Oh, that's me. Okay.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Would someone like to read the land acknowledgement statement?
I can.
Thank you.
We are on the land which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange among indigenous peoples for thousands of years and is the home of the Western Abenaki people. The Charlotte Library honors, recognizes, and respects these peoples, especially the Abenaki, as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters in which we gather today. In that spirit, today we begin by acknowledging that we are guests in this land. We need to respect and help protect the lands within our use.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the draft minutes from the September board meeting. Does anybody have any edits?
That's some punctuation.
I missed it.
Under director's report, as per trustee bylaws, comma, there was no meeting in August, period. The director's report. So just yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nothing for me. I did have a question. Under the action items, exclude, okay. It will also be amended to exclude home card holders from checking out items of a value over 100.
500, yeah.
500. Are home card holders, that's not a Charlotte resident?
Right.
Okay,
Anybody
okay.
outside of our.
All right, I didn't know if we needed to say home card holders excluding Charlotte. Okay, never mind.
No, but good to check. Did you get done in an hour? You were going to.
It was a quick one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I make a motion to accept the draft meeting agenda from September 4th with edits.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. Moving on, public comment. Do we have anybody on the call?
Nope.
Anybody in the room? All right. Moving on to the chair's report. I'm actually going to turn it over to Janice, who has some updates from the outreach world.
So the outreach committee the whole committee did not actually meet, but Margaret and I met to sort of just lay a framework for what might happen in the next, because we have other members that are in the committee that weren't here, because we didn't call an official one. It was just let's talk about what might be in the future. So we talked about Banned Book Week, which is October 5th to 11th. I think Margaret will talk more about that in her report, and sort of some ideas on how it should appear as a display here. We're gonna talk about that more, right? We had an idea to do, instead of just talking about the library of things and what might be available, sort of talk to the people that are taking things out and do a little. A couple paragraph description of, like, for example, someone got the metal detector. What did they find?
Found a wedding ring with that metal.
See?
Did you really?
Well, actually not that one. Tom Wright lent me his,
Oh.
but I would have, and I know that somebody has found them.
Wow.
Right. So just thought it'd be a really informal thing that I offer to write them and we'll put them in the newsletter that goes out. Some people, even now, don't realize that we have all these things to offer, but maybe if they had just a little bit of a story around it. And Anne Marie had talked to Margaret about the canning kit because she had a boatload of tomatoes. Anyway, just that would, maybe that'll be like a recurring kind of a way to bring people's attention to the library of things, because there's wonderful stuff in there.
Mhm.
And then we were thinking about what we might need to do in the near future, which usually includes advocacy for the budget. But since we don't have a budget or know exactly what it will be for the select board, we will probably hold off on that, but we're gonna try to be proactive, because some years we've been kind of reactive to people's comments. But then we're also going to have a real meeting sometime this month with
Okay.
everyone.
That's great. How do you decide to buy things for the library of things?
Sometimes people ask if we could have them.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes one of us will hear that another library has something that's really popular.
Oh,
and,
interesting.
We can acquire that. The Energy Committee has been really generous about giving, donations of things that they think would be helpful for people. So that's
Okay.
sort of, so if you have something you think
Yeah.
we should have in there, let me know. A lot of times people donate things.
Oh, okay. Huh. All right. Just wondering. I was just thinking, when you acquire something new, do you share that we've got a new?
We have in the past,
Yeah,
like when we
okay.
got the canning kit and the food dehydrator, that sort of happened at the same time. So it was like Susanna put a little thing. "Ooh,
Yeah.
look what you can."
Huh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
Do you have a pasta making machine? One of those.
We don't,
create
that would be a fun one.
I
We
have
do
one
a pizzelle
somewhere.
maker if you
Yeah.
wanted to make, you could have pasta and.
Yeah. That I use like once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else? All right.
Yeah, no, a food mill. Got a food mill.
Fully
that I
food
use,
mill,
like,
actually,
I use
that
like
would be
twice a year, and I
yeah,
got
that
it
would
front
be-
yesterday.
That would
Like,
be
I
great.
never use
I
this.
should get one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And those are great. This time here for applesauce.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's when you get
and
it out.
tomato sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Egg salad.
Really?
That'd be a lot.
Make it really tiny.
Tiny.
Yep,
Oh.
my mom used to do that.
Oh.
Comfort
All
food.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea.
I like.
We're all gonna go home and.
Yeah. Great. All right, so let's move on to do we have, was there an email from Natalie or
She
anything?
just told me
No?
on Monday that she
Okay.
was unable to come because they have a meeting
Okay,
now, so.
all right, moving right along to the treasurer's report.
Okay, so we have the September,
Did I get my numbers right this?
this.
Yes.
Yes, and so we'll go through this first. You can see we're a quarter of the way through the fiscal year. And you can see our percentages. Any of them that are out of line with the percent of their fiscal year we're through, the professional development, I think that's, Margaret just recently went to a meeting, so that's gonna be a little skewed. Computer support, I'm not sure. I think we may have paid for a couple of, or the computer support numbers that are higher.
Right,
Just
because we
because
have to pay an annual fee that comes in
Yeah.
September, so that was $900, so.
But other than that, I don't think there's really anything of concern. There's certainly not anything of concern.
Great.
to us. And do we want to talk about,
Yeah, if you
Okay.
like, sure.
so
And
this?
we've got copies of that for everybody. There may be, we kind of printed it off quickly, so perhaps they are.
Margaret, you may not,
Yeah.
you probably have your own. So, Margaret and I met this week. It's time to start planning and getting the budget in. Actually, we have to have it in 3 weeks, roughly.
Wow, really?
To the select board.
Salaries are all level funded.
Well, salaries are not our concern, so we don't know what those numbers are gonna be. So salary, we won't know what those, so those will come to us as they do every year.
Okay.
We're basically on our thing that we use every week, every meeting, the custodial services down are the ones that we'll look for and change if we need to. So the first column is what we have currently on the budget for this 25-26.
Mhm.
And then the next column will be what what we're gonna ask for the next budget. Basically, everything was level funded except for 3 items, which were the postage.
Right.
Just because we expect some increase in postage costs, so we increased that by $500. The other thing we increased was the energy by $200. And that this is our third year. This will be our third year with the solar panels, so we're kind of just feeling it out to see what our numbers are gonna be. It was roughly a little over 2,800 for the last fiscal year.
Okay.
I think the numbers that we had that you showed me.
Oh, I think it was, yeah, it was, a little over 2,500 maybe.
So we decided to just increase that, and then we'll have 3 years of numbers and we can kind of figure out where that's average is.
Okay.
So we increased it just by $200, so we'll have a $300 fee, request for that. And then the third thing we added just $50 to was for under maintenance, HVAC preventative maintenance, we increased that by $50.
And that was from New England Air. They increased their fee, so.
Yeah. But everything else is the same. Results in less than 1% increase of just the operating costs, not including
Okay.
salaries. So I think that's pretty good.
So the 326,000 from fiscal year 26 does not include salaries either?
That
It
does.
does, yeah.
That does. So I don't have the number. I mean, you can subtract the 278, 230, and you can get the operating expenses from,
Right.
which was, yeah. And then I think it's 47,800, somewhere up, something like that.
70.
Yeah, 47,800 is what it comes out to be for the fiscal year 26. That's the operating expenses.
Mhm.
And so the new operating expenses will be, we've added 750 to that. So that number actually should be 48,550.
Yes, that's true.
Wait, so isn't it a decrease year over year?
No, so this was 47.
Oh, 47.
47,800 is the operating expenses for
Okay,
fiscal
I
year
got it.
26. Fiscal year 27, the actual number is 48,550.
50, because
Okay.
of that $50 that I,
Yeah, and so
Correct.
that's,
Okay.
so basically level funded. With operating costs.
The really the big one is the postage, is correct?
Yeah.
$100. Yeah.
So in fiscal year 26, for the total maintenance was 7,200.
yep,
Correct.
Were the numbers broken out the way they are in fiscal year 27?
yes,
Right.
You can compare
Yep.
them.
Yeah, so the only difference is the 1,850 under fiscal year 27 was 1,800. In 26.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no change, like where
No.
there's no
Correct.
value,
Right,
there's
there's
no
no
change.
Same.
Okay. Okay. So 900 last year for alarm service, for example.
Correct.
Okay, I got it.
This looks really nice.
Yeah.
You guys,
Thanks, guys.
Great.
well, we paste a program title, will that show up like that, or will?
I can remove that. This
in.
is just a draft.
Mhm.
Do you anticipate a step stool bill coming?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope it's not $400.
So then, we'll present this, we have to have this in again around the 19th, is that the date?
20th, yeah. Mhm.
Um, and eventually then we'll go before the board, select board, present them the budget. That's what we have. Do we want to? Anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, I had sent Robert a copy of a repair and replacement sort of schedule. Because I know that had been a concern of ours was the capital
Right.
fund for. But I don't know anything about what anything, I mean, I tried to like Google like repairing a carpet and it cost everywhere from like
Yeah.
$75,000 to $4,000. So like, I have no idea. So, maybe there's someone who could help, give us some idea of what those would cost, because my idea would be that we could add a little bit in every year so that when we get to year X and we need to
Right.
replace the carpet,
Yeah.
look, there's money that we have ready.
Oh,
But when I've talked to Nate about that, he's said, oh, those are capital, those capital expenses are this is a town building responsibility of the town. It's like, well, how do we know there's money in there?
what did Natalie say to do last month? Did she recommend?
I think she said to come up with something like that, which I had already sent to Nate earlier.
Right.
The email that,
Yes.
that's, okay.
So-
But to not make it specific. like
Right.
Not
Right.
to have a furnishing.
But
Budget.
don't charge
Bucket.
just the carpet.
Yeah,
make
Have
it-
it
Yeah.
a general,
Right, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
upkeep of library.
And then you can use it for whatever you want on that
Yeah.
list.
Is
Yeah.
that reflected into this?
No,
No.
no, it's not, because we don't really know what the status of the capital campaign.
And
Um,
that is not our budget.
yeah.
That would be the
Their
general budget.
So what did you say to do, Natalie, about that?
Well, so we were talking about the differences because the senior center has a fund for the roof. And it's just for the roof. And she said, pluses and minuses to doing that way, but then you can only use it for the roof. And if you want to use it for something else, then you probably have to go for the select board. It would probably be a process. And so she said, if you just have a capital fund, where you don't specify what it can be used for, you can pull
Right.
monies out for
Mhm.
whatever. You need.
But that would be under the umbrella of the town, right? Okay.
I mean, under the replacement fund that the town has?
Yes.
It would be under.
Right.
Got it.
There'd be some accounting to know how much that is. So,
So what do we do to move that forward?
that is a good question.
To Natalie.
Natalie would do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
That might be a good
Should do
thing,
those.
maybe something to talk about at the end of the budget season or
Hmm.
before, like, I don't know, is that something to sort of talk about sort of going into the next year before she's off of the select board?
I think it would be good. to
What's
talk
the
before.
timing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Oh, definitely before she goes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be something that we could get enacted.
Right.
with this budget,
Yeah.
right, so
Yeah.
like timing might be January or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Huh.
But I think it also segs into the talk about a
Memorandum of understanding.
So that we can
Right.
figure out,
Right.
okay, of these things on this list, are there
Right.
some of them that are purely ours that we should be dealing with in our whatever maintenance budget or whatever, or should this all go into that budget? So,
Okay.
but that's another discussion. So I think there's work to be done with that, so.
Should we meet with her ahead of the next? Like, is there any rush to do this before our next board meeting? Like, what's our next, I don't know, milestone?
Well, October 20th, the budget is due.
Okay,
So, I mean,
As something of a draft to present to the
yes, the draft budget is due the select board
Yeah.
on October 20th. But that's all I know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could reach out to her before October 20th, if you think it would be good to get some more information about, like, do we know what the select board, are they asking for a level funded
Right.
budget? I imagine they are, but is there anything else we need to know about that?
yeah.
I mean, we
think
can't do
should.
anything about the MOU until the.
No, not about the
contract is all
MOU.
set, But
So is that what you're asking about? What they want our funding to look like, or?
I
what are you
just
asking
wanna know
about
what to-
This list.
That, what to do with that? Because she asked for us to put that together and you guys did it, so now what?
And this is a list of things that we think are capital budget items that should either go in the town budget, or are they gonna be in our library budget? That's the plan.
Not in the library.
Okay,
I
budget.
imagine those I put that together as things I felt the town should take
Okay.
care of, but please, I can send it to everybody and you can review it and maybe talk about it at the November meeting, just to. Excuse me.
I guess I just don't understand the process of getting this, like, how did the senior center start the roof fund?
Mhm.
What was that
The
process?
Friends agreed to pay a big chunk of the money for the new,
Okay,
but their friends group is a little bit different from our friends group.
Yeah.
And our friends group is not, that's not the kind of thing that they take care of.
right,
I feel like this is probably not, something that is going to impact this budget season.
okay,
And that probably is something that after the budget season, or we can do during the budget season, but knowing that it's for future,
right, okay,
at least to get the process started. Because again, I do think that it's all tied in with that memorandum. I think really this is gonna be all in that.
oh, huh,
I do, because I think, that this is gonna be an
Yeah.
understanding that they're gonna
Right.
be in charge of
right,
possibly this thing. And so I think as we, go back and forth with them on what the memorandum looks like, it's
I
gonna be,
gotcha.
do we need to add specifically these things in there?
okay.
Or is this understood? And so it's probably all one big process.
Okay,
So
all right,
Do we know how much in last year's budget the select board had in for repair and replacement? That then got passed?
we probably
Don't,
find our
go
budget.
look it up.
I'm just curious if they put in. It seems like this is one of those discussions that we have pieces of a lot.
Right, I mean, the question is, do they consider this stuff as in there
That's pretty cool,
as
man.
part of that or not?
yeah.
Yeah.
I see why you're saying that should be a part of the MOU
Yeah.
conversation.
But I do think maybe we can send this out and we can all look at it and,
Yeah,
and just see,
Okay.
does this make sense? Is there something else that we can?
And just how much of this is potentially impacted by Nate leaving, having to hire a new town manager. A lot of balls in the air.
yeah,
Yeah,
but nothing on that list is like within the next year,
no,
right?
because a lot of it, we just did everything in
yeah.
2020, so a lot of this stuff was done at that time,
Okay,
so.
well, good. It's good to hear.
So we can take maybe some of those estimates that Rearch had
Yeah,
for how much they spent on the carpet
Mhm.
as a,
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
actually a
not
good
cool.
idea.
right, right.
Okay, I will, I can add that in.
Does the draft MOU speak to that?
We don't have one yet.
Oh, there was one floating around for a while.
Yeah, I think there were.
There was some, I don't think it was super
Not
specific.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't
Yeah.
a itemized list like that. Okay. Good.
Well, it's just like from our point of view, I think.
Mhm.
So,
I can't find anything about repair and replace. You might.
You can look at it later when
Yeah.
you're not on the gun.
It looks really good. I mean, as a
Thank you.
place, it looks like a really good place to start
Yeah.
and.
Seems reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about the generator grant, or were you gonna do?
Oh, we ended up not applying for that,
Oh, okay.
so I'm hoping that we can do in the next round, because we now have the whole thing ready. I got some, we just need the select board okay.
Okay,
So, yeah,
all right. All set? Moving on? All
okay.
right.
So, yeah, I'll do a quick, I want to make sure I show you our Sustainable Libraries presentation. And I have only an incomplete report because Cheryl's away and some numbers, it's the first of the month, so we don't have a compilation of all the numbers, but this gives you
Okay.
a rough idea of, we had a lot of people check out books last month, more
Yeah.
than the previous year. We had a few fewer people come in as far as I can tell, but again, I'm waiting for numbers. But felt busy the whole month, and we're heading into a really busy month this month. Robert reported on the budget. Cheryl's getting ready for her book lovers book group to start in October.
Great.
George's dog photo display was a huge hit, and cats have been requested. Missed a period there. Jake is now working on the Library of Things storage and display, so attacking it with the same zeal as the shelving. Local history series, Jenny has put that together, and if you have any family treasures and you're wondering how to take care of them, on October 22nd, you can come and find out. Two people from the Vermont Department of Historic Preservation are
Oh,
coming to
interesting.
tell us all about that. Susanna's going to an AI summit on Monday. She's helping to put that together with other folks from the Vermont Library Association. So that'll be interesting, sort of navigating that new world.
Right.
There's been some kind of crazy things happening. I may have told some of you about people coming into libraries, not here, but I heard about this at the conference and asking for titles that they had read on ChatGPT, say, or somewhere
Oh.
that
Yeah.
said Isabel Allende has a new book, and she doesn't. And it's certainly not
Oh.
called the thing they say it is. And then they
Wow.
get mad at the librarians for not having the book. It's so crazy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so I'm not sure it's that, but I think it's, how to be safe, how to help your patrons. So it's here, so we can't avoid it. If I haven't told you before personally, but I had a great time at the conference. Thanks
Great.
to the board for voting to let me go. It's super helpful. A lot about AI. There's a whole great packet from the University of Washington. Some really good information about welcoming new Americans and the rest of us who are here. And a helpful segment on HR for small libraries, and there was a good bit on sustainable libraries also. So
Great.
it was a really good, really helpful conference. And trustees are welcome to go, and if you want to go to Montgomery, Alabama, that's where it is next year. Upcoming Halloween, Janice and I will be doing the trick or treating on the library porch.
Thank you.
We're gonna have great costumes.
But it's a secret. Uh, We have, I hope to be planning, I have to work with the energy committee to have a sustainable library celebration in November. We're gonna be getting a plaque and there'll be a press release. It's gonna be
Wonderful.
exciting. As Janice mentioned, it's banned books week next week. And, so Susanna and I put together a couple displays. One of them is about public health information and the fact that that is something you is at risk. So, working with, someone, he's a sociology professor at UVM, and Sally Kirshner, who's a retired public health nurse, about, how to make sure that we all understand those important things. And then connected to that, I feel like I just said this at book chat, so you're hearing this all over again. Two local doctors are gonna come and talk about the pediatricians are gonna come and talk about fall wellness and how to be, so Elizabeth Hunt
Oh,
and
great.
Andrea Regan. And vaccine schedules,
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah,
When is that?
the 10th.
Nothing
You
to
had-
change.
Yeah.
It's all the same as it was, just stop listening to it, they're gonna promote.
Yeah, that, yeah, I guess follow the Department of
Yeah.
Health is.
Yeah, the Vermont Department of Health is really doing a great job of sending out good information and you know,
Yeah.
it's safe, of telling everybody what's clear.
Yeah.
I got a concerning email from them today. Did you get that too? I thought there was an Ebola outbreak
Oh,
in,
really?
in the Congo somewhere.
Oh boy.
No, we got an email from our CMO about, Tylenol and.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's like, you have to say, don't believe, don't believe this, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That we have to send this out and,
Yeah, that's a whole other layer to your work too, if you're in that field. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
What do they
thank
say?
you.
You have to
The
think, you
Tylenol
say it
of
differently to people.
autism that was proposed by some government official. But then, well, they just said there's no scientific evidence for it. There never has been, and also that, now that fevers can be very serious, right,
Yeah.
in pregnancy. And so to try and make sure that someone is not trying, they're not gonna take Tylenol for their fever and they're pregnant, that could be.
Oh,
Dangerous.
dangerous
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So it's like
Interesting.
They're they advising you of things that you're supposed to say? That was my question. Based on this.
They don't say specifically, but they do say, if you need to have some help, how to discuss this with your patients, you
Oh, I see.
contact someone in the administration, and they'll help you with how to talk to patients about it. So, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
And then there'll be another display, which is books that have been banned.
okay.
So we'll have a poster up. This is the most banned books from last year, but then we're gonna have a display of sort
You
of
have the books.
throughout history, The Great Gatsby and Of Mice and Men, and, just it goes on and on.
Wow.
And then this is interesting too, censorship by the numbers. So I've got these here if you want to take a look. And then sort of related to that, just, somebody came in and asked if we would be willing to put this up in the library window. Yeah.
I'd have to look at the website.
NoKings.org.
Yeah. So I would like immigrant families to feel welcome at the library along with everybody, but I don't know if this seems to inflammatory, so. Looking for your advice about that.
Is there more of a way to say all are welcome as opposed to having to be, again, it gets back to the
Yeah.
specificity thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, does that then,
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it would put other people off, but you never know. How people will do things. And it's always easier to cast a wider net than anyone.
Yeah. I think we need to vet the website.
Well, this is the organization that
Yeah,
puts together
that's-
the No
yeah,
Kings Day.
right,
So
right,
They
but-
do have a political agenda. so
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was I mean, I'm like, if we could just not have
That's
that
what-
on there,
Yeah.
I would be fine with,
This.
And
yeah, or the QR
and the
code.
little-
It's the logo
Right,
on
right,
top.
right.
Yeah.
So maybe it
They're
is,
actually that.
yeah,
yeah,
maybe it is just all are welcome at the library and we leave it at
Kinda
that.
like
Yeah.
that.
Do we have a policy about political messaging?
We do, we're not, I mean, as
Yeah.
a
So it
town,
seems like it's
Yeah.
pretty clearly a
Right.
political message.
mhm,
Not that I don't agree with it,
Right.
it's just.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably needs to
Right.
take a different form.
Yes, okay, well, I will work on that then. That's a much nicer idea. Thank you. And then I just want to take a few quick minutes to show you our our sustainable libraries presentation. There we go. This is awesome. Right.
a great picture.
So here we are. Mm. This is one of my favorite quotes, so that's why we put it in there. So here is our team. So Jonathan, former board member, Susanna and myself. A little description of our town. This is this same picture that Linda Reynolds did for us.
So you
Many
should
years
show
ago.
this at the conference or share this at the conference?
I haven't yet shared it. I'm
Okay.
on deck to do it. I'm just gonna go see if Susanna's free. So she can come. Susanna?
Miss Margaret in that.
I have no idea.
That's really odd.
It's like Margaret in San Francisco in 1983. That's right.
This very- Where are you in that picture?
I'm in Montreal.
Montreal. Oh,
I'm right here.
several years ago.
All right,
Years.
so this is what we had to do to get started. Long, long ago, we talked about the triple bottom line, and some of you weren't even on the board then. Environmentally sound, social equitable, economically feasible. We had our 3-person team. You all helped work on a lot of policies. We had to do energy and waste audits. We redid our website. Our outdoor spaces are sort of a shining beacon of
Yeah.
our sustainability work, and I think that just continues to be really great. So some of our features of our outdoor work, indoor spaces, daylight. Feel free to chime in if I'm missing anything, Susanna. And transportation, not as great. I would love a bus stop, but I
Yeah.
don't know that that's gonna happen. We did get the pedestrian crossing. We have, and Matt was a fine model for our bike repair.
Better.
Yeah. Yes. Anybody who can ride around Mongolia is,
Yeah.
energy. Yeah, so we're now a net zero building, which is awesome. We had to measure our how much water we use. And yeah, this year would be even more. We do a lot of recycling.
Yeah.
Are there specific efforts to reduce water usage?
They give you guidelines, like they give you a calculator, like if you're to show like for your size building,
Mhm.
if you're have a responsible, we're kind of,
Yeah.
we're fine. Collective impact, these were the harder ones that were
Yeah.
the sort of less like, we could do a waste audit, we can measure our water usage, but these were the sort of trickier ones to kind of quantify or describe. At least I felt that way.
Yes,
Susan.
but I think that also things that we sort of already do,
That's a good point.
and that since, and then sort of focusing in on these topics like this made us realize like we sort of expanded it and how can we focus on this a little more
Mhm.
and do these programs.
Yep. Oh, we are now a dementia-friendly library.
Right.
We have a little window sticker. I haven't put it up yet, but we have
What does that entail?
some training with the Alzheimer's Association and just being willing to help people if they come in and their caregivers. We've got some money we're gonna spend on some additions to the collection. If there's books that are written specifically for people who have dementia. So we'll be adding some of those to our collection. Indigo dyeing. I think, yeah, you just never know how you're gonna make connections, and it's really great. There we are, the Charlie card on the porch, yay. Social cohesion. This was, I think, you and I were both so surprised by
Yeah.
the care kit and the reception when it
Yeah,
went to Jump down in Burlington, how happy they were to get it. So that was really nice.
we were completely, I don't know if you were on the board yet, but we were completely overwhelmed by the
Yeah.
amount of stuff.
Donation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just kept coming and coming. I mean, there were a few random
Yeah,
things like.
most of it was useful.
Expired hydrogen peroxide.
Right.
Teeth whitening.
Yeah, that's right.
Most of it was really
Yeah,
kind
was
stuff.
great, yeah. Yeah, we did the Juneteenth with, the Clements Farm, Vermont Reads again. Resilience planning,
There's still copies of the newest.
yep, there are, oh, yours, so.
That's my daughter.
In the green?
In the
Yes.
green. On the
Vermont, they went to helped us celebrate our emergency responders. Financial sustainability, which is sort of weird because we're a town entity, so there's not a lot of we're not an incorporated library that you all are making decisions about, how you're collecting money or whatever. But we are lucky that we get health insurance and, relative to a lot of other librarians in the state of Vermont, we are paid pretty well. And then we have a nice return on our investment according to the library value calculators. We had to review our collections for inclusivity and accessibility, so we did that. Records management, we get to talk about that tonight. And
There's one that Rain Circle reads funny, sorry. Updated policy includes contained content by.
wow, good catch.
Sorry.
No, better to do now before I'm.
Let's scratch the contain.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I can't do that right now, but
Slide
this is
21.
why you need a read.
Yeah.
Okay. And then our aspirations, what we would like to continue to keep working on. And that's it. Thank you.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
Did you put that?
Yes.
It's really not in.
Congrats.
I mean, the,
Yeah, the
part of it, the
presentation.
graphic part, I mean.
Well,
It's in the making, right? How?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years for us to.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
yes, you breezed through that like, whoo.
No problem, but it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Even the presentation was like, do we want to put this here? What color should that be? We should have spread things a little.
But all the work that particularly you put into making it all. These things
It
happen.
looks really nice.
Thanks.
Very
It's
clear
exciting to
and
be.
Easy to engage with it.
Good. Yeah, so that's all I have for my report.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susanna.
Thank you,
Thank you for all
Susanna.
your help and for putting together the
Thank you.
Absolutely, my
presentation.
pleasure.
Right, where are we?
Action item?
Action items. Let's discuss the records management policy.
Yes, so I realized I kind of threw a wrench in the works because this is the official long, complicated one from the Vermont State Archives and Records Administration. And then I came across, which was in your packet, the South Burlington one, and I'm like, oh, let's do that. So it's up to you, of course, but, that seems a little bit more concise.
What is going on in the third paragraph? It says GRS 1000.1012. Is that supposed to be a line break or is that
Oh, maybe.
budget
Yeah.
records? Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. And I like that they reference those numbers, so you don't have to do that work.
So we would just adopt this?
If that looks okay to you.
You
And,
compared this to the state policy?
I have not done a deep dive into that. I did talk with the director of the South Burlington Library, and she said that they prepared this based on the state policy. And we're in, consultation with them.
Hmm.
They boiled it down to the.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Like, here's what's essential for a library.
Okay.
Didn't this come up in the MOU? Like who holds the records?
With the
No.
select board?
Is this different?
No, you know, when it came up when we were looking at the union stuff, there
Yeah.
was something
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
about where the records were, yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Margaret?
Well, it is among a number of policies that either we need to add because we also need to add a social media policy. We don't have a policy dedicated to social media. Or need to be tweaked a little bit. This looks comprehensive and yet kind of boils down what we need. And I have full confidence in the South Burlington Library.
Okay.
So,
So the first paragraph kind of just says we're just pegging this to the state.
exactly, which is best
archives.
practice.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
And then you would have to do all these things? Like
I mean, we're
3 years
already-
and,
Right. I mean, we already have those guidelines are here. The one question I have, and maybe this would be a reason to push it off a little bit, is I don't think that the town has a records management policy, so I don't know if we want to wait till they come up with something. Before. One thing that not Nate, Jake would like to do is start, he really feels very strongly about shredding, the library card applications. One, because he's a very tidy person and they take up a lot of room. And two, because they do present we are supposed to be keeping those records confidential, and that's a very easy, it's easy for someone to access that information,
Interesting.
looking at a binder with.
It would be hard to, like, if somebody rated.
Right.
It might be hard to keep it.
Yes, exactly. Whereas, the digital record is password protected and.
Right.
So, anyway.
And is that in here, like?
The woman I spoke with at the SARA said that, doing that is consistent with this policy, yes, it isn't, it doesn't
Oh.
state you can shred
Yeah.
library registration records, but it does say, you know, once you have use that information the way you need to use it, which is create the library card account,
Mhm.
you don't need to keep that
Oh,
record.
interesting. Okay.
And even if the select board were to have a records policy, it would have to follow VSARA also,
Exactly,
so.
exactly, right, and
There's
this,
no conflict of interest,
Right,
and there's,
right.
We do,
feels like
Yeah.
there's no reason to not just adopt this.
yeah,
and it, as you said, highlight, it does pull out the ones that are particularly
Right.
relevant to
Right.
library work, so.
Okay.
Are all those records backed up somewhere? The
Which
record-
records,
yeah.
like
So
the library card record?
Yeah.
They are backed up somewhere in the cloud by Bywater, which is the company that manages the software. I don't believe we have a back, I can ask Susanna, and if you would like us to create that, we could probably figure out a way to do
I'm
it.
just
I mean, we
wondering.
have a backup. One of our computers functions as the backup server, but that's all I know about it. I don't know anything more.
Okay.
Make a motion to adopt the South Burlington Records Management paperwork policy and just amend it to say Charlotte Library.
I'll second.
Great. All in favor? Right?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Let's move on. Okay. Looks like we have a possible executive session. Anybody have anything? Let's move on. Look at that. End of meeting.
It's not even 7.
It's not even 7.
Well, just quickly back to the records policy then, so what would the next step be? You would make edits to take out the city of South Burlington and
Right.
town of Charlotte.
Charlotte, right.
And then at the next one, would you have to vote again, or
Nope,
Just
you've adopted it as
you
amended.
go in?
It will go in the
Fine.
policy, yes, exactly.
Great.
May need to be reexamined if and when there's a final policy.
By the town, yeah. But I think it's nice to have this in place.
And are we not gonna have a discussion of the town of Charlotte AF?
There's nothing, I don't think,
Nothing to discuss without Natalie. I have no news. Good. All right. Who would like to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second? Anybody?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Until November.
Until November. My God, November. Do you need me on Friday?